Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Christopher. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Scorpio. If you're new, you belong to Welcome Home, and if you are returning, welcome back. It's a delight and an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to do so. During the season of Gemini, when we have an event in Scorpio, it's a sixth house event. So this specific event is a lunation, meaning a lunar event, the moon. So we're going to have increased insight and intuition into the areas of the sixth house. So that's day-to-day repetitive routines. Okay. It's also open and hidden enemies. Honestly, I use it as the house of hidden debt or karmic debt specifically, which we may or may not immediately know the origin of. It's also how we like sustain our life. Not the foundation is built upon second house, but how we sustain at sixth house. Okay. So during the season of Gemini, when we have a event in Scorpio, we have what's called a sixth house event. So we're going to have increased insight and intuition into our day-to-day repetitive routines, our hidden enemies, our karmic debts, the things that we need to sustain our life. It's also like the environment surrounding location of our work, maybe even like our workout regimen or anything that we need to apply discipline to. It's the service we give ourselves and others. Now, it's going to happen in those areas according to the energy of Scorpio. So deep, insightful. I wouldn't always say obsessive compulsive, but I would say intensely focused energy into those areas. Typically, what Scorpio does is it goes below the surface, in the depths of things, and it gets in there, and it might stick in there as well. Not always sticks in there, but it definitely gets in there, and it may most likely stick in there. So we're going to have evocative and visceral experience over the next couple few days in these areas. And again, if anything resonates with you, my dear, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. We will be imposing the guidance from This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. You can find this deck over at Liminal 11 Publishing, wherever you get your tarot and oracle. Okay, and so we're going to lay 4 cards. I don't know why, but my intuition keeps saying, my dear, my dear, my dear. So there might be something rather delicate to talk about. I ain't got time for that, to be honest, but we'll take it if we need to. Um, it seems like we've all been catching up on rest. I'm getting that a lot. I'm also getting that we're no longer, struggling behind times. Things are finally evening out, or, we're making ends meet, especially when it comes to time resources. And I've been intending for a couple of days to put out the 11/11 video. I've been intending to put out the full moon video, and so I am pressed for time right now, but I'll come back around and do that later. I've made some sacrifices so that I can get that done. And if you've been watching and catching on and holding on for me to do the galactic counselorship, which is usually it's the 12 signs. We've done 3. So I always start with Gemini and then I just do the grand trine. So we do Gemini, then we switch to, and then the rest, and then we switch to water, and then the rest, and then we switch to fire and do the rest. And last we do earth. So I put Gemini right out immediately because it's Gemini season, and then life happened. Okay, and I normally don't explain anymore because I used to make these declarative statements and things would never come through. I wouldn't follow through on time, on the date. I prefer to under promise, over perform. But intuitively, I'm getting that a lot of us are waiting for the sign videos and the 11/11 videos. So I'm just letting you know that is coming. I didn't forget. And I actually just kind of cut off all my little things to do to fill my hours during the week in order to do that. So I made some sacrifices to get that done. It'll be here shortly. And let's begin. I want to light a charcoal because the attacks have been crazy, yo. And I don't know what's been going on with you. I hope you're well. It's late Gemini season, so if you're a late Gemini, I just want to say, hey, girl. Hey, sweetie, homie, honey, darling child. I hope the month is going well for you. Blessed felicitation and grand merriment. Happy solar return, blessed solar return. I'm happy you're here. Thank you for the medicine that you bring and the journey that you're on and the path that you're walking in this lifetime. Ho'oponopono, hello, Dulo. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. We're going to lay 4 cards, and this will be the overall energy as we're gathered here today. It's the core crystallized concrete content for this reading. There will be additional cards, but those will be to clarify and to modify the reading that we're doing right now. If this reading is going a little slow for you, you can always increase the playback. There should be like a gear symbol on the video play right now. Maybe you're over on another platform, Roku, Apple TV, whatever, what have you. So you'll need to figure that out, but you can increase the playback. And then usually, not always, but usually there is a summary, and it's between the Hamza hands in the about section or the description box or the show notes. We have the Hermit, 4 of Swords, Empress, Page of Wands. Hermit, 4 of Swords, Empress, Page of Wands. One more time. Hermit, 4 of Swords, Empress, Page of Wands. These are the 4 concrete core crystallized energies as we are gathered here today for the Daily Tarot Buffet, discussing the transiting moon into Scorpio during the Gemini season, which brings us a 6th house event. Now, the Hermit is about getting to the depths, typically, of the soul. It's basically turning within, using wise counsel to go within and find inner guidance. Now, it can also be some type of wise counsel. The difference between the Hermit and other wise counsel is that the Hermit is a specialist. They go what we call vertical, not horizontal. Horizontal is kind of specialized, so they know a little bit about a lot. The Hermit knows a lot about very little. Okay, so this could also be a wise teacher, wise counsel, or some type of wise teaching. We have also the 4 of Swords. So this is basically concussed or resuscitation. It's basically convalescence. Now, it typically usually means that there was some type of wounding. There was previously either the 5 of Swords or the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords is the suspension. 5 of Swords is a revocation. 3 of Swords is some kind of active, open wound. The wound is now starting to heal, starting to scab over. So we're contemplating or processing, my favorite word. Okay, we're contemplating what that experience was. So ultimately, the 4 of Swords means that we need safe harbor from the world, but not sanctuary. We just need protection from what's going on the outside so we can focus what's going on the inside. That's what the 4 of Swords typically means. With another person, it may mean that there's some type of jar spell. Typically, it's pinned down in a jar, some type of energetic quarantine. Not always. There may not be the presence of another. The Empress is about highly blessed, favored, chosen, and anointed. This is the highest vibrational female in the deck. It's actually the most beloved card in the deck, and besides the Sun, because the Sun card could talk about a child, but this is the most beloved card in the deck, and typically it talks about being a demigoddess or the divine feminine. This is the loving and nurturing side of the duo. So typically it talks about gestation, conception. Okay, it would talk about manifestation through creation and nurturing. And if there is some type of manifestation cycle here, this is the material side of spiritual affairs. Page of Wands is the golden child. Contrast to other pages, this is the golden child. Typically, if there is any type of warfare, this is the target, not the tribute like other cards, the target. Okay. Now, if there is no other energy, entity, ideology here, because we're dealing with ourselves, then this would be lower self, higher self, former self, future self. So this could be because it's looking to the right, which is to the east, meaning the future, but down, meaning they're in contemplation and they're calling upon. It's not always creative gifts. This one would suggest that, but this is a transmission. They are being prepared, pages, to receive some transition, wands, or they are just starting to figure out, page, how to gain some type of or embark upon their drive, desires, passions, motivation, wands, okay? And this is the overall energy as we're gathered here today. So we're getting to the bottoms of our creative endeavors, our pursuits. We might have some innate talent that we inherited through our bloodline, through the family. Maybe we're a family of doctors or a family of musicians or a family, but whatever it is, we're really cultivated in this energy, entity, ideology. Basically, we've tried to get out there and cut it up, and we kept being brought back to ourselves to recognize there was something already imbued inside of us. We were born this way, or we woke up like this, and we need to quite figure out what that is. Maybe give it some language base, some knowledge structure, language structure, knowledge base. We need to figure out a few things that are already there. They might even kind of be obvious, but we need to lean into them and cultivate out of them. That's another thing that the Empress means. It's culture, the ability to cultivate from the environment surrounding location. It gives us, with the Empress, refinement and sophistication in some kind of sense, way, form, or another. And now that we lay more cards, remember what I said, my dear. Okay, I'm not overusing that word. It's coming through me today. So there's something delicate or precious or nurturing about this reading. I just want to put that out there. So these other cards that I'm pulling, they're going to clarify or modify what I just talked about. So we have the Three of Cups, Re de Copa. I'm hearing that, Ten of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and the Justice card. So Justice card, something is aligning here, and it started to happen. It's going to happen over the next 3 weeks. So we're getting into formation. I wanted to say heading in the right direction, but we're getting into formation, but it's a self-alignment. I do want to say that. We're returning to the self, Three of Cups. Okay, and it's going to happen over this next kind of 3 weeks. Is the reunion of sorts. We might be wondering or figuring out how to like get the means. Page of Pentacles. So Page of Wands is the target in warfare. Page of Pentacles is the tribute in warfare. Whether we're being offered a tribute or we're giving a tribute, whether it's Hunger Games or something less precarious. We have a timing indicator here, mainly the Justice card, Major Arcana, with the Minor Arcana of the 2, 3, 7, or 9 Persuasion. We have the Three of Cups, and the Justice cards are saying over the next 3 weeks, there will be some kind of alignment. I think this alignment is having the funds to do something. One thing that I'm getting is we're waiting on money to maybe travel. I don't really feel that, but it's not necessarily the travel itself, but it's some type of homecoming. I'm also hearing the word graduation. I'm also hearing some of us want to start school, and it might be a return of some kind. Now, this is the 6th house, right? That's day-to-day repetitive routines. It would be putting the time, energy, effort, and attention into something that is a little bit of a karmic debt. We might have some duty, obligation to do something, and we don't know how we're going to get it done. Maybe even we don't know how we're going to start it. It's going to come. The thing about the Three of Cups is the answer that we're looking for. It will come in, and it's kind of not universal like the Six of Cups or the the Six of Pentacles or the Ace of Pentacles or other cards, but it's specific to whatever we're praying about. So the thing with the Three of Cups is it means testimony, witnessing. It also means a reunion or celebration of some kind. So, and it's la alegría. It's kind of contrivial, or it's not necessarily a joy of the heart. It may be happy, it may be joyful, but it's not going to fill our hearts with joy. Our cup is not going to come spilling over. And I'm hearing that heading in the right direction. I can see the light of day. Yeah, I got love as my protection. I can see that things are going my way. Maybe that's not the exact lyric, but that's what I'm getting. India Ari. So this hermit, we're looking for some kind of answer. But we also got to get to work or get on our duty. Six of Wands, Six of Swords. So the six is about receiving. And then the wand is receiving glory, and the sword is receiving grace. And then when we have a pair of sixes, that's gifts, grants, favor, blessings, anointing, even support. Okay, being chosen, choice. Six of Wands, Six of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Five of Swords. So we might be revoking something, putting something down. Because we're going on this journey of moving through, moving on into something, and there is a little bit of travel here. Six of Swords is typically something that's not incredibly long distance unless it's over water, like a cruise or whatever. If it's not, it could be a journey in the mind. It could also be having access to clearance, the ability to make travel. And if there is literal travel, and that's the intention with this Three of Cups, the intention we're putting out there, it's typically short distance. I'm going to say this 400 kilometers, but that also means 250 miles. Now, guesstimation, okay? It's not a hard and fast. That's just what I'm getting. But this Five of Swords, it's usually horrible when the Five of Swords comes up, but that's not what I'm getting right now. What I'm getting right now with this Five of Swords is actually pretty benign. Okay. So we've got to do what we're doing right now because the attacks are going on like crazy. And I want to just tell you something that we'll talk about a lot over the next couple few weeks. Most of us are breaking out, breaking free. So whatever's the videos are saying over these next couple few weeks, it's basically we found a solution, or things are opening up, or the road is clearing because the things that used to work, especially in terms of attack, are not so much there. And we do have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is an open enemy, something that's out in the open. And it's coming, it's slightly in the future and it's slightly in the higher realms, which means this is being worked through the channels of manifestation. It's already kind of on the menu. It's kind of already like the order's been put in and it's cooking up in the kitchen. So this is something to be aware of, but there's corresponding and positive energy here. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be horrible. Because we have a pair of sixes here that does negate a single five, and we have a corresponding five and the six. Both the swords, so they actually cancel each other out. There's cards in the deck that cancel each other out. If you want to know more, come to Mrs. School, but the formula is if combined, if they equal 11, it's a cancel. It can be a cancel. It can either amplify or cancel out. So I feel so far like we have to kind of say no to something. We have to kind of put something down or put something off or form a standard and boundary. All of these things can exist in the Five of Swords. Because the way that the energy goes is we're starting out with this needing to get to the bottom of something. We might be looking for a solution or an answer. We typically find it because we receive glory and support here. The Hermit is getting to the bottom of something. And we move on towards this needing to kind of have some kind of energetic quarantine for sorts. Like I said, resuscitation, we might be concussed. We need to convalesce in some way, recuperate in some kind of way. It comes with the Ten of Cups, Six of Swords. So it's saying that we need to move into the eternal kingdom. And between there is our lower self or another person. There was this feeling of legacy. Page of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, as equated to the Empress. Because right now we are receiving some type of transmission, and that's this Five of Swords Justice card. Those two cards together mean really outlaws. Something was out of order. I don't know another way to say that, but the universe agrees. Judgment. Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands, Lovers card. Yeah, something was out of order. We might have been in the wrong group, in the wrong environment, surrounding location. What we're moving on to or from is the swamp. I hate to say it. Five of Cups is the bucket with other crabs in the bucket. Five of Wands is the bottom of the barrel. Seven of Cups is the swamp. Seven of Wands is the battleground. So we have a pair of sevens here. We have a pair of sixes here. We have a pair of tens. We actually have a triple 10. Let's keep going for a second. I'm going to come back and read this down. Ten of Swords, Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Sun. There we go. Eight of Pentacles. So when you have the Sun and the Empress in the deck, that might be somebody that's birthing something. It can't even be pregnancy, but they're not back to back, so I wouldn't take that. Actually, what we're birthing is the way out. We're gestating, growing through what we go through, and there is a breakthrough after breakdown here with the Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords. So we're starting over here with this needing to get to the bottom of something. Our deepest soul's need is calling out. Ten of Swords with the Judgment. We really do need to get in alignment with the calling on our life. Again, Ten of Swords with the Judgment, Empress, Lover's card. Something is requiring us to make some change here. Queen of Swords with the Five of Swords. Queen needing Five of Swords is boundary standards, or we're needing to block something, or we're needing to hold something, encase it, leave it where it is. Queen of Swords with the Four of Swords. We need to review a lot. There needs to be some type of discernment, Queen, about whatever's on the docket. Four of Swords. Now, this Empress goes with the Queen of Swords. It's saying that, hey, they ain't got the money, don't you worry. Yeah, because the Ten of Pentacles is here as well with the Page of Pentacles. Cut me my check. That's what I'm getting. But this Queen of Swords Empress is saying that we need to lean into our discerning side. We need to lean into our side that has boundaries, that has standards. The Queen's is the need. So we need to attack, or we need to go on the offensive. We need to assert our supreme authority, essentially. And it's related to this Five of Swords and Ten of Swords, essentially, and Six of Swords. It's essentially saying, like, hey, we need to move on to calmer waters. We need to move on to greener pastures. Whatever, however, so what, and onwards. It don't matter no more. This is the direction that we're heading. And there is some Emperor energy here. So that's not just with like the Empress, conception, gestation, it's the Emperor, inception and implementation. So whatever we've been thinking about, whatever's been percolating, it also needs to be put into action. And it's not an if, it's a when. It's not a can we, it's a how can we. So there's going to be a change here, and it's going to be according to our authority or our absolute power, or you hear what I'm saying? Like, We have the dominion, we have the power to do something. And frankly, it's time we exercise it. That's kind of the energy here. So, where we're heading is this thing that's been quarantined from us. It was best that we stayed in some type of illusion, delusion, confusion, Seven of Cups, some glamour, facade, mirror magic, gaslighting, even. And this, if there is another person, it was somebody that had authority, probably older, or they're a little bit acerbic, anywhere on the spectrum between acerbic, cold and prickly, not warm and fuzzy. That's acerbic, all the way to cruel and bitter. There's energy as one of they were benefiting from us being unhealed, unawakened, Seven of Cups. Because when you have a double seven, it's an alarm. Excuse me, pardon me. When you have a double seven, not a triple seven, when you have a double seven, it's an alert. It's an alert to Seven of Cups. There's some facade, illusion, mirage, Seven of Wands. This is an attack. Maintain your high ground, Seven of Wands, alert. Leave the table, none of the options are viable, Seven of Cups. There's a large possibility that there's futility or foolishness with the Seven of Cups. It's unlikely that any of those options will pan out. Now, that's slightly negated because we have a double page and the Empress. It's all Venusian energy. However, it would require that we're very clear on who we are, what we're about. If we don't have a strong need and intention, we're not going to be able to navigate that as well as we might imagine. Because the thing with the Seven of Cups is that they're going to try to get in wherever your imagination is or your lack of healing and awakening. So they're going to exploit a couple few things, mainly where you're foolish, mainly where you're gullible, and mainly where you're unhealed. Okay, we also have the Five of Swords. So there's four energies of Venusian energy here. There's four Venusian energies here on the board. But really what's happening is we need to get into our duty. It might be our divine duty and obligation. Emperor and Empress, those are the rulers of a nation. We have some kind of soulmate union here with the Lover's card. However, on our end, we either had some boundaries or we had something where we were the thing that was blocking. Because we're going to go into illumination, enlightenment here with the Sun card. That's reinvigoration, expansion, enumeration as well. The Emperor and the Sun can mean masculine beauty, can mean Sun in Aries. I'm not getting that because we also have the Sun in Gemini here. So it can mean somewhere between Gemini, Aries, and Gemini season. We're in Gemini season right now. Something got revoked here, Five of Swords. There's an energy here. Okay, I'm getting a few different stories. There's an energy here where there's a karmic debt. And something that came towards us got revoked because it didn't filter through our standards and boundaries. We took a moment to perceive that there was probably a little bit of malice or contempt. And I'm saying a little bit because it's the pages here, it's not amplified. And on this other side, something came in that was uniquely beautiful and divine, Page of Wands, but it came through without the clarity that we needed, Queen of Swords. It might have been acerbic or bitter, cold and prickly, all the same. And it came through as an answered prayer, but that's not how it looked. How it looked was like unhealed, unawakened, or confusing, or it brought up a lot of emotions, or we had to process a lot of experiences, and we had to sit with it for a while. So again, Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. From the minor arcana of the Cosmic Coven Tarot, we will be deliberating the findings for any type of pairing energy here. So we have like a triple 10, we have a double 6, that's called a pair. We have a pair of sevens. And a pair of pages. Okay. So we're going to look at this triple 10. So triple 10 is the expansion of a cycle that's already completed. The thing with the triple 10 versus the double 10 is that something might have been over for a while, but now it's culminating. It had already completed, but now we're beginning to get the read into the situation. It's kind of like hindsight is 2020, a little bit like that. We understand all the little bits and pieces, all the moving pieces. This triple 10, what Spirit says is Eight of Cups. Either withdraw from the situation, mature, go on a pilgrimage, or learn about your spiritual gifts. You have Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles here on the board. That's getting down into your duties, obligations. Eight of Cups is the same thing, but you're spiritual instead of physical. This could be your job at work with the Eight of Pentacles Emperor. But we don't have any pentacles down here other than Page and Ten of Pentacles. So this could be about being chosen for a position, perhaps, but the Four of Wands would be here, or the Four of Pentacles. This is about choosing, being chosen by another person. There's karma between somebody that we were connected to, and we need to address it. We have some karmic debt with the person that we're connected to. Because what Spirit is telling us to do is the Eight of Cups, mature or something else. Basically, the overall energy here is, and this is the shared energy. Overall energy is the Eight of Cups, but the shared energy is the Four of Wands. So mature into a union. In order to get a union off the ground, we need to get to a higher energy, a higher vibration. And again, the union could be with an employer, because we do have the Emperor here. But again, it's less a job position because the Four of Wands would be out as well. The Four of Wands is coming in the clarifiers, which tells me that there's a soulmate union here. We could have been on the twin flame union path already, but there's another party here, perhaps, with the Queen of Swords. Queens and Knights usually talk about another party. They are a block to the situation. This person that we're connected to has put a lot of groundwork. They have a plan of some kind. But all we need to do is Three of Wands. Three of Pentacles. If the situation has come to our attention a few times, all we need to do is work with them. Co-creation, collaboration, cooperation, Three of Pentacles. That's all we need to do. So this triple 10 is saying like, this is either going to end or this is going to manifest, and it's up to us. We would need to collaborate. The threes talk about expansion, or they talk about collaboration. So this is about the double seven, and it flew out. We call that a jumper or a flyer, but in the reverse, which means we might not know that this other side sees this as a viable opportunity because we're kind of detached Four of Cups. So Spirit is saying we need to make the petition or Nine of Wands. I mean, excuse me, I keep misnaming the cards. So Nine of Wands tells me we need to try again because we are the Nine of Pentacles. Excuse me a second. It might not be clear to us that this other side really wants us or really likes us or really thinks that we're viable, whether it's for a union or a position. We might have second guessed ourselves even or dismissed ourselves, less so. But ultimately, Nine of Pentacles with the Four of Cups means we've detached to be with ourselves. We've detached to be left to our own devices. We've detached to go into our own energy. This other side, Four of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, they have love for us. They want to give us love. There might be another person here. If there is, they want to receive this love or they have messages of affection towards this other side. And the way that this energy is working in the double cups, it means they're going to go towards whomever is like receptive or affectionate. And so that's one thing I don't see us being very affectionate here. And so that might be one of the things that made this come out in reverse is that there's something here viable for us, but we're not being loving, caring, generous, and kind. That's the thing about connection. It requires warmth, trust, close, like vulnerability and transparency. It's not here because the overall energy is that there's a reconciliation here on the table. I didn't grind this resin down, so all the viable pieces are at the bottom. I appreciate getting in this reading with you because I was feeling anxious and rushed, and I got into the reading, and it had a very calming effect. This is Copal, by the way. So let's look at this. So that's the alert. The thing that we need to realize is that, hey, this is very viable. This is not a figment of our imagination. If we're feeling something for somebody, or we have something being worked out with somebody, there's a couple few things we need to do, which is not seem so detached, give love or give trust or give vulnerability. And that's the thing about vulnerability is if we give it and it's not received and responded and reacted to, that means it's time for us to go. But there's a union here and it's ordained by the divine for one. And now we have this pair of sixes. Six of Wands, Six of Swords is receiving glory. Six of Wands, receiving grace, Six of Swords. There's also a soulmate energy confirmed by the lovers as evidenced by the Emperor and the Empress. Right, Seven of Wands. So we need to receive love is what Spirit is telling us. That's the overall energy. It needs to be obvious, like we're receiving love. It's this energy that's connected to us, because we're trying to cancel this out, Ten of Swords. We're either anxious because we're trying to cancel this out, or we feel embarrassed, devastated even, or we're holding our ground because we want to cancel this out. And this other side, if we're connected to either a position or a person, they're saying like, I just need to know that you're willing to receive the love that I have to give you. That's literally what's being said. As evidenced by the Queen of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, the other side wants to know that there's going to be give and take here. Equally beneficial, nourishing needs exchange is the exact language. This other side might be withdrawing, and I've got it a couple few times, so I'm going to say it now because somebody's waiting to come back to it. Because we already had the Six of Cups, now we have the Three of Cups. That's reunion and reconciliation. This other side is like, this other side might be connected to somebody that was giving them love, but we're the focus of this person's mind. And this other side that's thinking about us a lot is connected to somebody that can tell, okay, I have all this love to give you, but you might be interested in receiving somebody else's love. So we're that somebody else. And I don't know because I don't talk, I don't do third party a lot. I mean, it comes towards me, but I have very specific hygiene about that. Um, I'm going to say I don't feel like it's our intention to be the third party. I haven't seen any of that right now. We might be unaware, is what I'm getting, and that's fine. I mean, you can't help what you feel, but make sure your hygiene is clear. If you're going to be in a connection with somebody and not be fully in that connection, eventually say like, "Hey, my heart is somebody else, is somewhere else. Somebody else is on my mind. I just need to let you know so we can navigate through this, probably away from this eventually. I just need to let you know where I'm at with things. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm sensing. That's what I'm seeing." It's just another clarifier on my clarification. Yeah. Somebody's in a situation that's winding down. There's a breakup on the horizon for anybody that we're connected to. Let's look at this pair of sixes. Okay, so this pair of sixes, spirit says Eight of Cups. The overall energy is the shared energy is the Knight of Pentacles. So if I said Six of Cups, it was Eight of Cups. It taken us a minute to move on because now this other side is saying like, listen, I got to choose you because the person I'm connected to is putting boundaries and standards. They've made a decision that says there's nothing here. It's time for us to come through, pull through. It's time for us to make an appearance of some kind. Six of Swords. If this person wants feelings for us, they're looking directly at us and they're turning their back to the person that they're connected to. And the person that they're connected to wants to know what's going on with us. Because, I was feeling that, and then the cards clarified it very clearly. Okay. So I just need to say that. So we're going to use the Veda Sipila Daily Oracle by Los Scarabeo to clarify any corresponding or correlative energies. I was feeling the Sun and the Empress, so I'm looking at that right now. We might not know that there's something waiting for us, and our affections are not clear. This other side, they're connected to somebody that's done, and they might not fully know it yet, but their house of cards is burning down or toppling over. So it would be good for us to kind of declare our intention. And I'm hearing that now. Declare your intention. It's the Bjork song. Don't let that, or yeah, declare your independence or something like that. Don't let them take that from you. So there's a reunion here. The Yuyoni. There's a reunion here. But we're just got to be dutiful, go about our duties, make sure that it's in the alignment with whatever we do normally, not necessarily go out of our way because it's not going to be completely clear. But some energy that was around before is going to come back and they're going to say more than they've ever said before. And there's going to be things that we need to think about or process now. Okay, what is this Emperor with the Sun? That could be Aries, that could be masculine beauty, that could be graduation. So there's a way through now. I feel like there's a tactic or strategy or an opportunity or a way to handle or because the situation has reached its full maturity and now somebody wants to, yeah, but this is struggle up. This, to me, this gives me an energy of settling. Yeah, because it's like we are very clear on what we want, and we are intentional. So these two cards together is intentional. But this other side, they did this kind of moving, sneaky, moving sideways. They might have even been a little bit oppositional with Lanimika or holding a resentment. They were holding a resentment, so they went and got themselves stuck actually. Because they needed us to fawn all over them or to give them, affection in a way where we just need clarity. We need to be clear on what we're working towards. Delante. So some opportunity got missed, or they were delirious. We were delirious. Yeah, no, we were healing. Legerata, yeah, there could have been bad along the way, but it wasn't deception or malice. It was ineptitude. It was ignorance. It was innocence. It was naivete. It wasn't intentional deception or malice. On their end, I detected that a couple of few times. But it's saying that they were always going to come back. Usually when you leave is when they come back. So that's what I'm feeling. Because something that means getting the Jerry Springer chicken neck, snapping my finger, no, 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 no. Something to me, my little senses are getting triggered. I'm curious about this Empress with all these pages, and I'm just gonna say, why are there five Venusian energies here? Anchor that into the because Maritata came out, something to nurture. But yeah, but I wouldn't nurture something that felt hostile because we knew our worth, but somebody else figured that out after the fact. They were like, "Oh, okay, I mishandled the situation here." Yeah, Holmes, you did. Delante, I missed my mark. I missed my little exit on the freeway, and there was something that was obvious the whole time, but they're new to this. They might have inexperience, but they just learned themselves something that they're going to always, forever, for always watch out, but they missed the boat. So, what I'm getting is that there's unfinished karma here because something got mishandled. And on one hand, it was inexperience and a little bit of resentment. On the other hand, it was we just wanted to be left to our own energy because something wasn't right. Something wasn't, the math wasn't mathing. Does not compute, syntax error. Right? We got stuck in the processing. So Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension. Okay. Living sacred. Okay, this is like obnoxious. Living sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. We'll be using the Papa Love Oracle by Baba Bada Tarot over at it's summer, so there's all these cuties walking by my window. That's why I'm wrenching my neck looking out. Um, This is Baba Bada Tarot from Etsy. We're going to use that to deliberate the findings for any type of union energy according to matching. So we have Emperor Empress. We also have the 10 of Cups with the Lovers. So that's two that we need to do, and then we're done. So Spirit is saying for this Emperor Empress, surrender. There's a union here. I am ready to surrender myself to our connection. I will no longer run away from it and I will no longer deny it. I am trusting in the universe and our love for one another. Okay. But see, the overall energy here is there's some inner child healer. I have made and used excuses in order to control or sabotage our connection, but now I realize the only way is to heal, mend, and acknowledge and forgive my past. I feel like most of this is them going inside to explore our authentic feelings. Well, we had to just, okay, some of this is us. We had to learn what was going on. They had to get over something. So we had to catch up. They were doing too much. And I don't agree with that language. Let me be precise. When a person is doing too much, it means we're not enough, or vis-a-vis. If somebody says that we're too much, they need to go find less. However, we might not have been doing enough. We might not have showed up and given and taken the way that we needed to because we were still evolving, maturing, awakening, healing. They had a little bit of toxicity to undo, but it wasn't so heavy that it was on the gross, irredeemable part. It was just kind of like a couple of few behaviors they needed to change. Going inside to explore our authentic feelings and parts of ourselves that may have been rejected or labeled as inappropriate or too much by others, especially by our caregivers, the caregiver one, because it's saying courage. The person they're connected to is courageous, and if they're not connected to anybody, strength to venture, preserve, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty, willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation. I do not care what it takes, how long it takes, who I upset. I am going to return to you one way or another, Capricorn. So now they're being clear on what they want out of life: hardworking, disciplined, driven, patient, ambitious, team player, intelligent. Where we are is insecurities. We didn't think they wanted us. I'll be honest, I've gotten that a couple few times. Unsure of who or where they are in life, wears a mask to hide their feelings in fear or rejection, constantly covers up who they are in fear of what others may think of them. We have to do one more because we have a couple love indicators here matching. Okay, this is from the other side related to the lovers energy with the Ten of Cups. So diving timing. They're having to be patient. They're hoping everything works out at the right moment. The universe is placing people, things, challenges, and more into their life so they can handle them when they can handle them. Because the combined energy is magical and powerful. We're both calling each other to grow. That's the version of catalytic. It's the definition of it. Taking control of one's life, taking action towards destiny, create our own reality through powers of manifestation, new beginnings, and alignment. Magical and powerful. That's the shared energy. If there's another person here, they're Virgo or have Virgo tendencies. Meticulous, persuasive, consistent, practical, realistic, helper, analytical. Okay. This other person feels stuck. So, but I'm getting angry when I'm seeing this. So there's some toxicity here because I'm feeling like they're feeling helpless in a situation they created. So you may not know what to do, but when you know you created that ish, you better say like, okay, this is my bad. Like this is, I started this. Please help, but I started this. I'm aware of that. Please help, but I did it. It's me. It's on me. Feeling stuck and has a negative attitude, thinks life is against them, and has difficulty coping, believes that they have no control over things that happen to them, and blames others. Okay. And then we're having nasty thoughts. So we might be very material right now and not very spiritual, or we're being lewd and lascivious. I can't help but want you physically, sexually, and mentally. You're all I think about when I am alone and lost in my thoughts. Thought of you drives me insane. So it's more lust because under that we have the divine feminine again. We have the divine feminine twice in this reading. But we might have changed what we wanted. We might have wanted this person for their looks, and now they're actually manifesting, and that's the thing that's taking us for a loop because we aligned ourselves. The Eight of Cups came out twice in the clarifiers, which means that we might have been looking stupid, acting stupid, being stupid, and then we got over that. We handled up on that. We got mature again, and now the reason that brought us to the situation was an immature reason is actually manifesting something, and we might have detached because we were like, okay, well, this was born out of unaligned manifestation. I was kind of gross when I called this in, so maybe this isn't the thing that I want. But really, it was insecurity. It was like this thing that I want can't possibly want me back, and that's not true. But they want us because we broke them up, and we want them, or we should want them because they forced us to mature, if that makes sense. So this was a reading about the thing that we want wants us back, but we have to mature. And we spent a lot of time, energy, effort, and attention in some place or space, and it gave us some type of mastery. It gave us some type of technical skill. We were given a set of boundaries and standards, edict, a playbook on how to live our life, how to show up. And that's the thing. The universe is bringing us into alignment. And now this thing is ready. We should be feeling dutiful because balance is here. and something mutually beneficial and nourishing in its needs exchange can finally participate with us. It can finally show up and handle up and level up in a way that's helpful and beneficial. But it's going to take us a moment to realize that something's been at the threshold for a minute, knocking on the door, asking to come in. And you need to let it or send it away completely. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me to do so. We're going to say a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional love and universal oneness. Upon we love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May you be happy. May you be whole. May you be well. May you be at peace. May you receive everything you ever wanted, starting with what you deserve. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, Dhanavad, and Ashe. Sayonara, das vidanya, Avida Zane. Go ahead and smash that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.